Hi, welcome to an Easy Trader update on Wednesday the 8th of January. Okay, I'm going to run through the markets. There's quite a lot of data coming out this week, and particularly tomorrow and Friday. So just going to run through this, look at where we are at the moment and see if we've got any opportunities potentially here. So looking at the euro dollar first, and what we can see here from a daily perspective is there is a chance we could break the prior lows. If we break Monday's lows, we have got some support on the 100-day moving average there. However, that has been tested a few times before, so there is a potential for that for further downside of this move. It is effectively in a holding pattern at the moment, you could say. As I say, the key thing is whether it breaks Monday's lows or not, perhaps today, and I think it all rolls over into what's going to happen, or if anything happens tomorrow. We've got the ECB base rate statement coming out at 12:45. Now, there was a talk in last month and 2 or 3 months ago of negative deposit rates being possible and further action to be taken potentially. Now, that was played down sort of a little bit last month. However, it was still there was still remarks that it could happen. So it's probably a tad towards the more bullish side. It does not suit the eurozone for it to have a strong euro as it is at the moment. So I think measures may be taken at some point. Whether January is the point to actually make them, we'll have to see. It's always that case of surprise. As much as Draghi says he prior to the last interest rate cut, he'd given the market plenty of warning. Well, the thing is they don't actually give it right. As of next month, we're going to be doing it. It's just we might, and this might happen this week. It may be put off. Now, if it's really down to his speech, and if the speech comes out, I mean, if the figures themselves come out neutral and the speech comes out negative, we could see the euro following through and perhaps setting a bit more of a tone for the month, or at least a few weeks going forward into the first part of this month. At the moment, I would suggest it's looking slightly bearish. We've broken the prior lows here. We've got a bearish flag on the shorter time frames. If we bring this down to a 4-hourly, it's certainly looking bearish from that point of view. In fact, if you had drawn and had a trend up somewhere in this area, some sort of trend of the flag pattern, it's certainly broken through that and pulled through. So it's certainly pointing towards weakness, at least here at the moment. So that's my view on the euro. As I say, the news tomorrow will make a big difference, and of course we've got non-farm payrolls on Friday. Okay, looking at cable's held up stronger than the euro, and I was just talking about the euro and the cable here at the same time, looking at the open positions on the long-short ratios, and both of them are sitting around about the 67-68% level, so not extreme in terms of short positions held on them by retail traders, but pretty high all the same. And it's to be expected when we're pushing up higher here. The thing is that if they do start becoming extreme, I would imagine that price would be pushed up a little bit further, or potentially pushed up to put a short squeeze on, and then of course we know what happens following a short squeeze. We get a sort of a retracement or continuation to the downside. Now, as I said, cable's held up stronger. It hasn't broken the December lows, so there is potential for further upside, more so maybe with cable. However, still in the 4-hour session, and we've still got this sort of bear flag sort of pattern kicking in here, which could see it come back, and if it starts breaking the lows here, could test the 50. Now, again, we've got data coming out. We've got the UK Bank of England MPC, Monetary Policy Committee, meeting tomorrow, and they're expected to put an announcement at 12 o'clock. Now, I would be shocked if they were to, and it may be a good shock in a sense, but there's expected to be a little change to forecasts, little change forecast or no change forecast by most analysts, because we've already been given some reasonable forward guidance. So it's expected to stay pretty much the same. So not really expecting much out of that news story either to trade. But at the moment, as I say, it looks to the shortest time frame, medium time frame here. It looks like it could roll over at some point, but the bigger push still is stronger than certainly stronger than the euro to the upside at the moment. Okay, looking at the dollar yen. The yen's continued over right the way through December to weaken. It's found a bit of strength early this month, but again it's struggling here. Now, if it were to go up higher here, we could well be into a divergence zone. So if it starts running back to double tops, or maybe even if it pushes up to the sort of monthly R1 area up here, it may give us some sort of divergence potential. But at the moment, it's like sort of standing in the way of a bus, the way this is moving, and the chances, for most of the time, I'd rather be, if anything, on the longer side than the short side on the dollar yen. Looking at the positions of it, it's very neutral in terms of the open short positions. It's 50-50, which is not particularly short yen here, or dollar. So it's suggesting, if anything, potential upside. Looking at the euro yen. Now, with the euros weakening, it's really which is the weakest, the euro or the yen. Here now, again, it's got a similar pattern to what we're looking. Really, it's got a more similar pattern to the pound in a sense, in terms of it hasn't broken its December lows here. The weakness in the yen has ensured that it's just held up, effectively euro being fractionally stronger, but it's still got this sort of bearish pattern here, which could, at least on the short term, see us come back and maybe test the 50 MA, if not the 34, well, certainly the 34, maybe the 50 MA here, and maybe a little bit further. So it has got some potential ups, or downside rather. If it were to continue rallying up here, there is potential that it'll get into a similar zone in terms of divergence potential, the same as the dollar yen. But at the moment, again, it's like standing in front of a bus watching this. Now, looking euro dollar, euro yen. I haven't got any euro yen positions there in terms of the open and short ratios on those, so can't really give you a view on that. But it's certainly, to me, it's a very risky one, and the fact that the yen is so weak, it's the potential for further upside is always there. Okay, that's it for me. I hope you have a great week. As I say, loads of key data starting really. Well, we got some today. We got the short while. We've got the non-farm payrolls, but it's the ADP version, which has a lot less significance and can be quite variable. This afternoon, or this evening, it's around about 7 o'clock this evening UK time, we've got the US FMC minutes coming out. Most of the data from those are released, but it'll be interesting to see whether there's any discussion regarding the tapering of the quantitative easing, and if there's any more sort of guidance within it in the minutes to the expectations. Then tomorrow, really, as I say, we've got UK base rate. If you're an Australian trader, you're looking at these retail sales at just 30 minutes past midnight tonight, which has seen some reasonable moves lately, so that's always possible there. As I say, base rate tomorrow for the pound, then euro base rate decision at 12:45. More importantly, the 1:30 press conference. Then on Friday, really, it's the US non-farm payrolls is the big day. So expecting lots of periods of consolidation in the meantime, and then hopefully it will give us some guidance which may follow through next week. Not always a lot of news the week following this week, because the key reports are announced, but we do sometimes just get some continuation. So have a great rest of the week, and I'm sure Charlie will be back on Friday with some live trading. Bye for now.